here's some quick things that you need to have. Clearly you need to have a compiler. I have Visual Studio or Visual C++. And for this tutorial you're going to need to have a Windows operating system. Main reason is because there's going to be a function, or possibly functions, that are going to be used that are Windows or Win32, which is for the Windows operating system. With that being said, let's get started. First, let's include IOStream for your STD count and that good old stuff. Then we're going to include FStream for file streaming, and we're going to include Windows.h. This is where Win32 comes in the future. And now we're going to call our main C++ function. Now, there's something that you need to understand, and that is the ASCII table. What this is it's an arrangement of numbers that represent each key on a keyboard, or any key. I'd recommend going to www.asciitable.com. It's really great, and it's easy to use and read. So, what I mean by each number represents a key is, for example, your A key. Sure, anyone could call it the A key, but in ASCII, that would be considered 65. With that being said, let's run our main loop. But actually, before that, my bad, we're not going to be doing anything fancy. We're not going to be doing network things. It's not going to be sending data from one computer to another. This is going to be just a basic program running in the background. No one knows it's there. And then you get your friend to get on your computer that has that program, and it's going to save a file where you would know the directory of the inputs. So with that being said, let's create a std upstream log. Let's just name it log.txt. Now we run our while loop. While 1, that way it just keeps on running. For int I equals 0, I is less than and equal to 127 I++. Now what the hell does that mean? Well, on the ASCII table there's 127 main keys. There's these keys at the bottom, but those aren't important. Those are just extendo keys. These are the main keys you want to be looking at. So yeah, there's 127, so that's why you run the loop. Now, there's a function in Win32. Now this is where the Windows operating system comes into play, and this is called get async key state. What this means is it gets the state of a key. Notice how the parameter, it passes an integer. This is where you pass your key. Now I'm going to rename I to K just for tutorial references. That way it's easier for you to understand. K will be short for key. So what we can say is, if get async key state K equals true, because this returns 1 or true if it is down, and false if it isn't, or 0. Log car, or character, sorry, a habit, I just call it car sometimes. And then we're going to do a new line. That way it makes it neat. Now, why do we do character K? Well, K in this is a number. So if you just output it or put k into your log, that'll just put it as a number. If you cast it to a character, it'll transform it to its character value. For example, 65 is A, which means if you typecast 65, the value would be an A if you typecasted it to a character. Here's an example. std count character 65. Let's just return 0 right here. That way it ends the main loop, or the main function. There we go. A. And press any key. So now let's test this. See, I only did 6 minutes. We're doing good. Notice how it's just a console window. Now I'm pressing keys. Now I'm going to get off. Now let's go into our resource files, into our log. Notice how it's 0 bytes? That's because I forgot to flush. My bad. Now I'm going to press random keys. Now I'm going to leave. Yes to all. So now we're going to take a look at this file.